2014 S20, whereas Alan Brainerd has worked with and advised the Ways and Means Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Secretary of Finance of the Student Government Association for the last 25 years. And whereas Alan Brainerd has spent many long nights and full weekends working with the Ways and Means Committee to ensure a transparent, stable, sustainable, and successful allocation process. And whereas Alan Brainerd has assisted registered student organizations, agencies, and Student Government Association, the Graduate Student Senate, and the Center for Student Development on the creation, design, and efficient implementation of their budgets year after year. And whereas Alan Brainerd dedicated his entire career at the University of Massachusetts Amherst to educating students from all across campus, while at the same time empowering them to lead and make informed decisions on behalf of their peers. And whereas Alan Brainerd exemplifies the meaning and spirit of the Wellman document as demonstrated by his continuous collaboration, inclusion, and respect for all students. And whereas Alan Brainerd leaves behind an incredible legacy of public service, commitment to student development, and shared governance, therefore, be it resolved that the Student Government Association would like to thank Alan Brainerd for his many years of extraordinary dedication and service to the undergraduate and graduate students, as well as the overall community at large at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. And be it further resolved that the Student Government Association would like to wish Alan Brainerd the best of luck on his future endeavors, as well as a happy and fulfilling retirement. Sponsored by President Broughton, Secretary Vitale, and Chairwoman Manville.
Good evening, everyone. So before I kind of get into this, I must admit that last week when I wrote this, not only did I feel honored, but I was a little bit sad. I was honored because everything that Alan is, represents, and what he has done for the course of the last 25 years is truly incredible. But I'm also sad in writing this motion because there's a part of me that's hoping he's going to walk into his office tomorrow and say, just kidding, I'm working with you for the next 25 years. But I had the great pleasure of first meeting Alan back in the fall of 2010 when Lindsay and I both sat on the Ways and Means Committee, and we were just freshmen appointed to it. He sat with us, like he often did, late in the evening on a Tuesday in October and ran through the SGA S1 budget. He ran through the spreadsheet and explained our financial situation. He told us that the journey we're about to embark on would be long and difficult, but at the same time educational and rewarding. Little did any of us know what was in store for us that year, nor could we have predicted what I'm sure Haley, Lindsay, Lydia, and a few others would have recognized as the most controversial year in SGA history. But the Ways and Means Committee that year decided to take a more conservative approach with the Student Activities Trust Fund. Collectively and regrettably, we cut lots of things, including area government, student pay, various graduate assistantships that oversee our agencies, the readership program, and more. But just like this year's Ways and Means Committee, this was done after we met almost every day during the week and for many hours on Saturday and Sunday. Meeting after meeting, members of the committee argued at great lengths the many decisions we were making. But no matter what day of the week it was, or what time, many of the committee members were in attendance, but not all of them were. And what I do remember about most of those meetings, besides the fact that I never ever want to repeat them again, is that my peers may not have always been there, but Alan Brainerd was. Every time, all the time, listening and watching. At the end of the day, Alan Brainerd has always been the university official responsible for the $2.7 million Student Activities Trust Fund. As the primary officer who must defend this budget to various members of the administration, you would probably expect Alan to sit down with Ways and Means and try to steer the committee in a way that he thought would be best. You might expect that he would try to impress upon all of us his views on what should or should not be funded. And you might even expect that he would join the arguments and the debates that take place. However, if you were to think all of this, you would be wrong. Even though Alan attended all of our meetings and listened to our opinions, not once did he try to lead us in one direction or the other. Not once did he try to influence the process or the final outcome, unless it was to make sure that it was fair for everybody. He would even go so far as not to answer a question when we asked him for his opinion. Rather, he would try to lay out all of our options and provide us with his institutional memory. Alan understood that no matter what answer he gave us, it would be more than likely to have an impact on the process. He constantly reminded us that this was our process, that we were responsible for it, and ultimately, it is up to us to determine the final outcome. This same attitude was demonstrated again when Lindsay and I sat on Ways and Means again for our sophomore year, and then again for my junior year when I was the Secretary of Finance. Even in my one-on-one meetings with Alan, it was always a challenge to get him to share his opinion, even though he had 25 years of experience and 25 years of dealing with the SGA leaders. And over the last 4 years, it has become quite clear that Alan's answers were not out of fear for having an impact on the process. They were driven by the recognized importance of student development, that we must be given the opportunity to make our own mistakes, to make our own successes, and at the end of the day, decide on our own path. His attitude and actions emulate the great respect that he has always had for students and shared governance as defined by the Wellman document. So tonight, I ask all of you to pass this motion so that we can say thank you to Alan for his 25 years of dedication and service. And so that we can recognize the many long nights and weekends that he put in, even after putting in a full day and week's worth of hours in his role as the Director of Finance and Business Services for the Center of Student Development. Let us say thank you for his incredible respect for student leadership and the role we play on campus. And finally, let us say thank you to his family for their hopeful understanding and support of the role Alan has played for the last 25 years. Alan, tonight you leave behind an incredible legacy, one that I hope all of us and our partners in the Graduate Student Senate, the faculty, and university administration will dedicate and commit ourselves to as the days to come. On a more personal note, I want to thank you for challenging us to do and be better than we are. I want to thank you for being an inspirational role model. And I want to thank you for setting a new standard for how university officials should work with students and their representatives. I wish you the best of luck for an awesome retirement, and I hope you will come back and visit as future SGAs continue the great work that you helped us begin. Thank you. And Alan, if you would like to say something, I'm sure one of our senators would be happy to motion to allow you to speak.
Chairwoman Mandeville. Sorry.
I motion to allow Alan Brainerd to speak.
Second.
All those in favor of suspending the rules and allowing Alan to speak, signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion passes.
You know me, this will be very quick. I saw a couple minutes of the Oscars last night, and that's kind of what it feels like. I'm greatly honored. I really sincerely mean that. It's been a great pleasure working with students over the years. It's certainly the most rewarding part of my job, along with my colleagues from CSD, who made it tremendous as well. So thank you all for being here tonight. So I'm coming close to emulating the shortest Oscar response in history. I think it was 2 words, but thank you. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to miss you guys and this institution. And I just want to thank Zach and Lindsay and Haley for making my final year so easy. You guys have been tremendous, and Ways and Means definitely needs t-shirts.